So as you guys know, this has been the hot topic for the last 2 days. Gypsy Rose has been released. So I'm going to do a recap about Gypsy Rose and her story, and then we'll cover the updates, and hopefully I can stay on the whole time for that. It just depends if I get coughing my face off. But let's get into it. So basically, this all started it started when Gypsy was born, basically. So this is Gypsy Rose. This is her here in the little costume. This is her mom, Dee Dee Blanchard. When Gypsy was born, apparently she started this right away. So her father, Rod, has said that basically from the time she was born, her mom would say things like she's got, colicky, she has sleep apnea. Like she just always was giving her illnesses. Rod was 17 when Dee Dee met him. And she ended up getting pregnant. And Dee Dee was, let me get the right age here before I quote it. Dee Dee was 24. So she was 24 when she met Rod, and he was 17, and she got pregnant. They ended up doing the right thing, what everybody thinks is the right thing when you get pregnant, and they did get married. Rod said he woke up on his 18th birthday and was like, what am I doing? This isn't what I want. I'm not happy. Why am I doing this? So he ended up asking for a divorce. She moved back home to her father's family, and it did not go well. If you've watched any of the documentaries or the shows, there's The Act on Netflix, and there is Mommy Dead and Dearest on Hulu. I think it's on Amazon Prime as well. You need to watch both of those. They're extremely insightful. But I think it's Mommy Dead and Dearest, her family is interviewed, and it's eye-opening, I guess I'll say. They do not like her at all. Like, her dad said horrid things about her. Like, they do not like Dee Dee at all, which makes me wonder if they'll have a relationship with Gypsy. I don't know. But anyway, Dee Dee and Gypsy were staying there when she left her husband. So when she was about a year old, they lived with Dee Dee's family. What her stepmother has said and says on this documentary is that she thinks Dee Dee was poisoning her. She thinks that Dee Dee was giving her Roundup, this weed killer, whatever it is. And she says that she was bedridden for about 9 months. Couldn't get up, couldn't walk. And the only time she started feeling better was when they left. So she's convinced that Dee Dee was poisoning her. Of course, she wasn't charged for that. But other family members were on there as well, saying that she had fraud issues and was stealing credit cards. And like the list goes on and on. It's also said, sorry guys. It's also said that Dee Dee's mother basically did the same things to Dee Dee that she was doing to Gypsy Rose. So that her mother may have possibly had Munchausen by proxy, but again, we don't have any evidence of that. It's just kind of family members' hearsay at this time. But that was kind of what's in this documentary. So from the moment she was born, her mother would have these illnesses that Gypsy would apparently have. And it just kept getting worse and worse. Basically, she was telling people by the age of 7 that Gypsy Rose had leukemia. So she was shaving Gypsy Rose's head to look like she was having chemo treatments. She told everyone she had muscular dystrophy and eventually wouldn't let Gypsy even walk, made her go in a wheelchair and refused to allow her to let anyone know her legs actually did work. She ended up telling people she had extreme asthma, that she had the mental capacity of a 7-year-old when she was in like her 20s. She lied about her birth and even forged her birth certificate, saying she was like 4 or 5 years younger than she actually was. Like the list just went on and on. The way she was able to do this is because she actually worked as a nurse's aide for a brief amount of time. And her family has said that she just retained and soaked in this information. So she knew what to say, how to say it, where to go, what to do to get all these drugs from different doctors. A lot of people on my posts have said, like, how come the doctors aren't being held accountable for this? What doctor? Like, she literally was jumping around from different doctors. So there wasn't one doctor who could, say, okay, there's something wrong with this woman. As soon as she got like a hint of a doctor suspecting anything, she molded to another one. She actually went to one doctor and the doctor didn't believe she had muscular dystrophy. So actually did a test for muscular dystrophy, which I believe what Gypsy said was they take a chunk of your muscle. And I guess it's extremely painful. And Gypsy said it is one of the only procedures that she almost has nightmares about still, that she remembers to this day. But it was taking a chunk of her muscle. And of course, it came back that she did not have muscular dystrophy. And in the doctor's notes, it said may possibly be Munchausen by proxy. But she never went back. And the doctor said he has regrets to this day not digging into it further. So there were suspicions, but she didn't go to one doctor enough for it to be followed through with, unfortunately. So what ended up happening in, I believe, guys, when was Hurricane Katrina? Was it 2005? Let me just double check my timeline here before I quote it. I think it was 2005. Yeah, 2005. So they moved to Missouri after Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005. And what Dee Dee was then telling all the new doctors was that the hurricane wrecked all her medical records. So she couldn't bring the medical records with her. This was her excuse. And of course, I mean, the hurricane was such a disaster. People believed that. When she moved to Missouri, Habitat for Humanity actually built her home. So she was getting, so first of all, Munchausen by proxy, if I didn't explain that and I should. Munchausen by proxy is when you either cause or fake an illness in someone you love or are caregiving for to give yourself attention, sympathy, financial gains, like to gain something. So she was faking and causing these illnesses in Gypsy Rose in order to gain things. And gain things did she ever. So she ended up getting a ton of money from charities. Sorry, guys, if you're just joining, I'm super sick, but I want to do this. So she ended up getting free trips to Disney World all the time because it's one of Gypsy's favorite things. She ended up going on free helicopter rides. She got a new house from Habitat for Humanity, built her a home when she moved to Missouri. Like she didn't have to worry. People were taking care of her because they loved Gypsy. Now, everybody has asked in my comments as well, why wasn't Gypsy's father involved? He was. Here's what Rod has said. So her dad is Rod Blanchard. He was involved, but she had moved to Missouri with Gypsy, so he didn't get to see her as often. But he also wasn't able to take her when he wanted because Dee Dee would play this sick card. Like, oh, she has so many special needs. She's got this feeding tube now, and it's just too much for you. Which, of course, a feeding tube would be a bit intimidating to someone who didn't know how it worked, how to clean it, how to use it, which was what Rod was, right? He was a young dad. He was also getting married again. He had another family with his new wife. So there was a whole thing involved in that. He said that he would call to try and talk to Gypsy, and Dee Dee would make excuses like, oh, she's resting, or oh, she's not feeling well. And so he just thought his daughter was extremely sickly, and he was being pushed out of the picture in a very manipulative way. So that's kind of where Rod is. The whole time that Gypsy has been in prison, he has been there with her. He has been supportive. He has sent her money for commissary, which, by the way, Gypsy Rose has done an interview. She said that with the commissary, David, thank you, babes, for all the bracelets. With the commissary money, she spent it all apparently on Taylor Swift albums. So she bought all the Taylor Swift albums and said that is basically how she made it through prison, was listening to Taylor Swift. I apologize, guys, for the cough. I'm getting over something, so bear with me. So in her life with her mom, this was the torture she endured this whole time. It got worse once she was kind of entering into adolescence and puberty and was getting interested in boys, basically. She went to a convention and it was like what do you call it? Like it's a comic thing where you dress up. Guys, I'm blanking out. Drop it in the comments what it's called. I can't think. Cosplay. She went to a cosplay event and she ended up meeting a man there who was older than her. She and he started communicating online. I think she really started to like him. She wanted to go meet him and Dee Dee found out. So apparently what happened, this is coming from Gypsy, remember, her cell phone was smashed and her computer was smashed. And what ended up happening was Gypsy apparently restrained her with handcuffs and a dog leash to her bed for 2 weeks. The other time that she tried to run away, Gypsy says that it was due to another surgery her mom wanted her to get. And all these surgeries are unnecessary, remember. She should not have had any of these surgeries. She was completely healthy. But the other surgery was going to be another surgery on her neck, on her, I'm going to say this wrong, larynx. I hope I said that right, on her throat. Gypsy said she had had enough. She ran away. Her mom, of course, found her. And then her mom, Gypsy says, filed paperwork to say that she was incompetent and that the mom was like her guardian. Of course, I'm sure it went through because of all the illnesses that everyone was saying she had. Gypsy didn't tell anyone to this point what was going on in her life until she met Nicholas Godejohn. Once she gained her mother's trust back, she had access to the internet again, and she got on a Christian dating website this time. And this is where she met her boyfriend, Nick Godejohn. So her ex-boyfriend, I should say. She met Nick Godejohn in, I believe, 2013. They were talking for about a year, and then Gypsy confessed what was going on. She said, I'm in a wheelchair, but I don't need to be. I'm not sick. She told him everything. The relationship was extremely toxic. He was, I don't know if I want to call him mentally disturbed, but he definitely had some issues in his life going on. He had different personalities that he would bring out. One of them was a 500-year-old vampire, and Gypsy would counter those personalities with her own character. So when he was this 500-year-old vampire, she would be this, woman who loved vampires from that same era, and they would role play. When he was a child, she would be a child, and they would role play. So it was, not a good, healthy relationship, to say the least. It turned sexual. There was a lot of sexting, texting, all that stuff. They ended up getting this bond, and for 2 years, they texted and messaged and called and did all that stuff without ever meeting. The first time that they met was at the movie theaters. So Dee Dee took her to see the real life Cinderella movie at the movie theaters. Nick Godejohn, the boyfriend, ends up taking a bus all the way from Wisconsin to Missouri to the movies to meet Dee Dee for the first time. He says as soon as he saw her, they were soulmates. He loved every moment of it. They weren't even allowed to sit together apparently at the movies. Dee Dee, of course, was in between them. But at one point, he gets up to go to the washroom, and then she gets up to go to meet him, and they had relations for the first time in the men's handicapped bathroom stall. This, of course, is coming from Gypsy as well. So that was the first time they met. He then gets a bus and goes back to Wisconsin, but then the plan really kind of started taking effect. Gypsy says it was their plan B. The first plan apparently was to run away, but she knew that wasn't going to work. So the second plan was, of course, to kill Dee Dee. And that's what they ended up planning. They have all the text messages and things from that. So what ended up happening was, excuse me, guys, Nick decided that the vampire, this 500-year-old vampire persona of his, would be the one to do it. And he talked about this, made plans, decided how it was going to go down. He did tell Gypsy that he was going to grape, use her rhyming words, guys, her mother after he killed her. And this is the one thing that Gypsy said no to. She was like, absolutely not, but you can do that to me. So that was part of the plan as well. What ended up happening was he wanted her to answer the door in the middle of the night, no clothes on. He wanted her to have duct tape, gloves, and a knife set outside for him and have the door unlocked. So that's exactly what she did. So she opens the door, she lets Nick in, he has all these items. He tells her to go to the bathroom and wait for him and plug her ears so she doesn't hear, and that's what she did. He goes in, unalives Gypsy's mother, and then he goes and gets Gypsy out of the washroom, and apparently they have intercourse for the second time in her room. Now, this is where things differ a little bit because Gypsy claims that he really graped her. He says it was consensual. I tend to believe it was consensual where this was part of the plan. She knew that he was going to do this after. So, I mean, we can believe what we want, but that's what was said. He had cut himself apparently as well. So she took him to the kitchen, got him bandaged up. There's his blood now everywhere through the home. He had taken apparently a taxi or an Uber to her house, like tons of evidence that it was him that did this. They ended up leaving, going to a hotel, and they have crazy surveillance of the two of them at this hotel. They have surveillance of them going shopping, buying brownies in the hotel, like so much evidence, you guys, of what was going on, but they were not caught yet. Dee Dee's body was not discovered yet. So they go to this hotel. She had never been to a bus station. She's worried that they have a metal detector and they have the weapon, the knife still. So her idea is now to mail the weapon to Nick Godejohn's family home in Wisconsin. And that's what they did. So she mails the knife, the murder weapon, to his home. Then they hop on a bus and they head back to Wisconsin where they stay. So it was 5 days before Dee Dee was found. The way that she was found is because Gypsy, for some reason, I'll tell you why she says she did it in a moment, and we can see what you think. But what she ended up doing, she and her mother had a joint Facebook account. It was called Dee Gypsy Blanchard. It's still up if you wanted to go check it on Facebook. But she wrote a post on the Facebook saying the bitch is dead. And once that happened, as you can imagine, everyone that knew them was commenting. So this, you can see all the posts still on it. They're all 8 years old. You can read them all. But it's all the friends and family wondering what was going on. Where was Gypsy? What's happening? And remember, everybody at this point thought that this was the Gypsy, not this. They thought Gypsy was this, young girl who couldn't walk, who had leukemia, muscular dystrophy. Like, they thought she was either dead or kidnapped. So they all contact the police. The police go do a wellness check at Dee Dee Blanchard's home and find Dee Dee. Initially, they think that she's been kidnapped or something because there's her wheelchair and no Gypsy Rose. That soon changed. As soon as they tracked the IP address, they found out that it went back to Nick Godejohn's in Wisconsin. They bust in, they arrest the two of them, and that's when everything hit the fan. Initially, I'll show you their mugshots here, guys. Initially, when they were both arrested, Gypsy started crying and basically acting like she knew none of this had happened. What do you mean my mom is dead? Acting like, this was all news to her and that she was innocent. After they came out with all the evidence, however, they found cell phone footage of the two of them that they'd recorded each other. Here is their mugshots, guys. I'll put this up for a sec. So this is Gypsy when they found her. And this is Nick Godejohn, of course. There we go. So she did soon admit what had happened, and she agreed to testify against Nick Godejohn. Nick at this point is not really acting like he regretted this. He's actually been interviewed and said he would do it again if it meant saving Gypsy. He has been quoted in an Oxygen movie, I guess we'll call it. What was it called? It is called... hold on, let me get the name of it here. It's called Gypsy Rose and Nick, A Love to Kill. It's an Oxygen special that was out in 2019. He did an interview, which is really rare. He hasn't talked much about this, but he did an interview where he said that this was the most exhilarating, thrilling time of his life was when he finally got to be with Gypsy for those 5 days. He said he has no regrets, that she was his soulmate. He was in this hard. She, however, basically ended it as soon as they were arrested. She was done with him. So I wonder if he actually still is in love with her, but he's going to be in prison the rest of his life without parole. They go to court. They go to trial. She ends up confessing to everyone. Thank you, Hi, for the rose. Guys, thank you for tapping the screen. If everyone wouldn't mind while we're chatting, tapping the screen. And don't forget to hit follow. I will definitely be updating on this story. Gypsy goes to trial, and she ends up getting sentenced to 10 years. All the Munchausen by proxy comes out. Everyone now knows what her family has done to her. They kind of take that into consideration with her sentence. So she gets 10 years, and she does have the chance of parole. Nick, however, is the one who actually does the deed. He doesn't seem to be remorseful or doesn't come off that way. And he gets life in prison without the chance of parole. So he is in prison and will stay there for the next, however many years. What ended up happening next, they both go to jail. Time goes on. She apparently, while she was in there, was taking photography classes, videography classes. She was involved in media and things like that. Apparently higher education. She has done several interviews, including some with Dr. Phil. But what's coming out now is, Lizzie, thank you, darling, is a docuseries, which apparently is going to be 6 hours. It's coming out on the Lifetime channel, January 6th, I believe the date was. And it's taping her in prison. And she's going to apparently be telling us things she's never told, about her life living with Dee Dee. Apparently, she's going to talk about the murder. I don't know how much she'll be able to talk about that because I'm pretty sure you can't make money off of a crime like that, but I could be wrong. But apparently, she's going to be talking about that as well. She's also written a book. She got her half-sister, so she has a half-sister named Mia. Her half-sister has made social accounts for her, and she's advertising the book and the docuseries on those socials. She wasn't posting on it. Her half-sister was, but she has made her first post today, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So while she was being interviewed and recorded in prison, they didn't end it. So what they did is she was just paroled. As you know, she served 85% of her prison time, so about 8 years. She was just paroled yesterday. They let her out at 3 a.m. just to be a bit more secretive. Her her husband, Ryan, picked her up. Side story, we'll talk about Ryan for a sec quickly. While she was in prison, as you know, she broke up with Nick Godejohn. That did not last. She ended up then, thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for all the gifts, guys. Thank you. She ended up meeting a man named Ken first. So through a pen pal program, she meets Ken. She ends up getting engaged to him, but it doesn't last. She ends it. Soon after, in 2020, she meets this man, Ryan Scott Anderson. He is 36 years old. He's a special education teacher in Louisiana, and he's done an interview with People magazine where he's finally admitted or told the story of how they met. It has never come out yet. It was through a letter. So what ended up happening, and this is coming from him, I know it sounds like an odd story, but it's their story. He says that in 2020, the height of the pandemic, as you guys know, what was the number one Netflix show at that time? Tiger King. He said a friend of his wanted to write to the Tiger King. And he, apparently, Ryan Scott Anderson, always thought a lot of Gypsy Rose and her story, and it really impacted him. So he always wanted to write to her, apparently. So the friend was like, I want to write to the Tiger King in jail. So Ryan says, if you write to the Tiger King, I'll write to Gypsy Rose. He said he never expected her to write back. So he writes this big letter about how much her life story impacted him. And then he tells everything about himself, and she responds. He said it just went on from there. They quickly bonded. They were writing back and forth. He said he got goosebumps every time that he would get an email from her, which I didn't know you could email in prison, but that's a side story. Anyway, he would get goosebumps every time that she emailed. He said they were not allowed to do conjugal visits, so they never consummated the marriage. They ended up getting married just last year on, I think it was July 21st of 2022. Her family did not want her to get married in jail. They wanted her to, get out, live her life, then do that. But, she wanted to do this. She loved him. So they did get married. But soon after, she wrote her family saying she was going to have an annulment, that it was done. However, soon after that, it became evident that they were still together, and they are still together. So I'm going to show you some pictures. So she was just released on Thursday at 3 a.m. So yesterday at 3 a.m. And we have a ton of pictures now coming out. So the first picture, let me see here. All right, I will show you this one, I guess. Let's see. It's not the clearest, but it's a pretty good shot of the two of them. So this is Ryan Scott Anderson. This is her husband, Ryan Scott Anderson. So Ryan owns a Cadillac with Hitman as the license plate. The humor is not lost on me. It apparently is for the wrestler, is it Brett the Hitman? He's obsessed with wrestling, apparently. His car was the only one apparently allowed at the jail. He pulls in. However, there was a filming crew. So like I said, this docuseries is coming out. They are still filming Gypsy. So if you look at this picture, you can actually see them coming out the door as well. So she's going to have this film crew following her for the next few days, apparently, while she acclimates to her life outside prison. And it's going to be part of the docuseries that's coming out. She comes out, she's got these 2 bags, and if you zoom in, it's all junk food. I love it. It's all probably her favorite items. Huge container of Dr. Pepper. She's got her suitcase and her pillow, but you probably noticed she had sock feet. So she comes out in her sock feet. The 2 of them are packing up. They stayed at this hotel for the night because, again, she got out at 3 a.m., right? They probably had to sleep for a few hours. What she had told her stepmother, was that, or what her mother and stepmother had said in an interview, was that they were going to celebrate Christmas first. I'm just going to show you a close-up so you can see. There she is coming with her sock feet there. There, that's a better picture of her. So her stepmother said that they were going to celebrate Christmas. I believe it could have been yesterday. They were going to open gifts and things like that. Ryan says he bought her a bunch of gifts. Her family bought her gifts. She took her first selfie. Let me show you her selfie, guys. And everyone, of course, when I posted this initially was like, that's an iPhone 15. Yes, she was taking her selfie with an iPhone 15. So we can all assume maybe it was a Christmas gift. So this is her very first selfie since being out of prison. Her very first social media post since being out of prison. She wrote, first selfie of freedom. So yes, she has an iPhone 15. I'm assuming Christmas gift, but this was her at the hotel. This is her actual Instagram account. Her half sister created this and shared this address a while ago. It's also verified. Like it is 100% Gypsy Rose's account. It is safe to follow. If you wanted to follow her TikTok, go check my posts out. I have her TikTok tagged in my posts. Make sure you guys hit follow. I will definitely be updating. And you can check out all the posts that I make in the next few days of whatever is going to be Gypsy Rose. So she apparently was opening Christmas gifts and things yesterday as she was up for it. Today apparently was a spa day with her family. This also happened yesterday. So when she got home yesterday, they threw her a party, a welcome home party. And I got the pictures off of her sister Mia's Instagram account. So this is her sister Mia's account. So this is her family. So this is who has stuck by her. So this is her stepmother, Christy, her father, Rod. There, of course, is Gypsy in the center with her sister Mia. And they had a welcome home sign. Lots of fun stuff going on. This is the message her sister posted. The sweetest hello, welcome home, sister. I only saw family pictures when I saw this, but let me grab the other picture here for you guys. Ryan was there as well. So is this the picture? Yeah, here's Ryan. So they're doing those confetti bombs. I don't know if this triggers anyone else, but all I can think of is the mess. It's like a glitter bomb blowing up here and all the food would have been covered. But anyway, but I did just see this picture as well, which I have not posted just yet, and I will. Let me grab it. Is it this one? Oh, hold on, guys. I got to grab it. This picture apparently is a friend of hers. Why can I not grab the picture? Oh, here it is. Oh, for some reason it has to go behind me. All right, we'll let this happen. This is a friend of hers that actually posted a while back saying that they were friends, had some pictures. This is also at her party. So it looks like she did have a couple of friends there with her. I don't know if she met these friends while in prison, if they were, school friends or what exactly it was. Love the border here. Look how techie I am and I have no idea how I did this. But anyway, but this was just posted as well. There are so many updates. The other thing is, oh, there's the right picture or the right filter, I should say. The other thing is she was captured. I say captured because it's very obvious where she's going, what she's doing, because she literally has a film crew following her. But here she is buying new sneakers at the shoe store. She got out of the car in sock feet, getting into the car. When she got out, she had these boots on, guys, that she couldn't even zip up. They were way too small on her. And everyone was kind of pointing out they were probably the boots that she went to prison with on. Because as you know, when you leave, you get your things back. So she probably had those boots and nobody thought to bring her new shoes, right? So she ended up getting these Skechers. And of course, the film crew was following her. And this was her heading out. So she's living her best life. She had her party. Today supposedly was a spa day. And then her husband, Ryan, was interviewed, like I said, with People Magazine. And he said that tonight was going to be their alone time. As I said, they were not allowed to have conjugal visits at the prison. So he was really looking forward to having her first date, spending time together. And he says that he was going to be making her favorite, which is gumbo, apparently. And they were going to be going out and having, a date night tonight. I'm assuming the camera crews will probably be following as well, but who knows? But that's kind of where we're at with this right now. I'm going to come to my comments right now because I haven't been able to see anything you guys are saying to see if you guys have any questions or what we've been chatting about. Let me just put up my banner so people know what we're chatting about here. Make sure you hit follow, guys. I will definitely be updating. And please continue to tap the screen as we're chatting in here. It's a huge help. Oh, I love these comments. Leave her alone. For the people that like to post that, she doesn't want to be left alone. Gypsy has been extremely vocal about the fact that she wants her story out there. She wants everybody talking about this. She has made social media accounts to make sure she's relevant. She posted her first selfie today of herself. If she didn't want the media attention, she would be the first one asking for people to stop. She is not doing that. She wants the attention. She wants her story told because she wants to help other people. So the leave her alone comments, there is no hate to Gypsy that I'm seeing personally. Everybody on my posts is, posting love and acceptance and excitement to have Gypsy out. So I think it's really unnecessary that everyone's saying leave her alone, because no one's bothering her. If she didn't want the attention, she'd be telling people. What year was it? So she went to prison in 2016. She was arrested in 2015. She was sentenced in 2016. She was there for 8 years. She has just been released after serving 85% of her sentence. Do you trust Ryan? I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have the best feeling with the videos that I saw today of them being recorded. However, he has never been in the public eye before. It might be really overwhelming. He might just be trying to protect Gypsy, but she wasn't minding. They were asking her questions and she was trying to reply. And he was kind of like brushing them off, like, and not controlling, but being very protective. So I just hope that's all it is, that he's just being protective. So other than that, I don't know him enough to comment. A lot of you are saying you don't trust him. Ryan is not the man that killed Dee Dee. The man who killed Dee Dee is her ex-boyfriend, who she basically ended things with as soon as they were arrested. His name is Nick Godejohn. He is still in prison with no parole for life. She was 21 when she met Nick. And she's 32 now. Is Dee Dee? Hold on. Is Gypsy 32? Yeah, 32. She's 32 and Ryan's 36. Why did she get arrested? So she and her boyfriend at the time in 2015 ended up killing her mother, who was basically torturing and abusing her because her mother had Munchausen by proxy. What do you think about Nick? I think Nick had his own issues. I think the time that he got is justifiable. I know a lot of people are saying it's not fair that she got 10 years and he got life. They have two totally different lives, right? He actually did the deed. She was planning it to try and escape and have her freedom. I just think it's totally different. Like, she was tortured and had a mother with Munchausen by proxy. No, none of us can even imagine what that was like. So I think it's two totally different situations, in my opinion. I love Gypsy and wish nothing but the best. She deserves everything great in life. What's her TikTok account? So her TikTok account is, I'm going to say it wrong. I believe it's Gypsy R Blanchard 727. It's tagged in my post, guys. If you guys go to my post and look at the captions, I tag her in most of my videos. That is her legit TikTok. I know that there was somebody posting as Gypsy Rose Blanchard on my posts, commenting to other people. I did block them, but there's lots of fakes already. How did she meet Ryan? So Ryan sent her a message during COVID in 2020. And wrote her a letter saying what her story meant to him and telling her all about himself. And that's how they met. What does her mother's disorder? Oh, I missed your comment. Hold on. Oh, what does her mother's disorder mean? So Munchausen by proxy is when a loved one, I guess, yeah, it is a loved one. When a loved one or a caregiver either fakes or causes an illness in someone they're taking care of, in order to gain something like attention or sympathy or financial means, something like that. So Dee Dee was basically pretending that Gypsy was sick. Gypsy knew she didn't have any of these things going on, but Gypsy would pretend that she had all of these things and confuse Gypsy and, her whole life in order to gain attention, sympathy, money, you name it. What specifically did it mean to him, though, I wonder? What do you mean? Wouldn't the doctors know it's fake? Yes and no. So she would go to all these different doctors, and you can't prove some things, right? Like, she would go to a doctor and, I don't know, say she was having a hard time eating because of her, I'm just making this up, a hard time eating because of her saliva or whatever the excuse was at that time. And they would give a prescription, or she'd go in and say, like, she's got these horrible migraines. They won't go away. You can't prove migraines. So they'd give her a prescription. So she was getting all these prescriptions, which she knew about, and she knew which ones would cause different other symptoms. So she was physically actually making Gypsy sick with some of these things. Like, she actually rotted Gypsy's teeth out of her head with some of these prescriptions. Gypsy had to have her teeth removed because they were basically rotting from these treatments that Dee Dee was forcing her to have. So there was lots of things like that. So the doctors, aren't able to test and figure these things out. One of the doctors did try to test for muscular dystrophy, and Gypsy says she still remembers the procedure because it was so painful. She was having actual surgeries and procedures done. Yeah. She had her eyes operated on. She was wearing glasses and you name it, she was having it done because of her mother. Like, it was awful. Where was the dad? So Rod tried to be involved. He was a young dad. He was only 17 when he had Gypsy. And he had Dee Dee manipulating him. He would have Dee Dee basically telling him that, well, you can't take her on your own because of all her medical needs. Like, at one point, Dee Dee had a feeding tube installed in Gypsy, which Gypsy didn't need. And it was extremely painful, as you can imagine. But she was telling him, like, oh, she has too many needs and things. Like, you can't take her on your own. And he believed that. Like, he thought she was this sickly little girl. And why wouldn't he, right? You wouldn't expect your wife and the mother of your child to actually be making her sick. How did she have surgery without the doctors knowing? Joyce, the doctors did the surgery. So she would go in faking all these illnesses, getting these prescriptions, which caused other illnesses. And then the doctors would think these surgeries are necessary based on what she was saying and doing. Did the mom lie about her to the dad? About her illness, you mean? Yes. Yeah. And she would also lie about, like, where Gypsy was. Like, the dad would call to talk to her and she would, like, lie and say, like, oh, she's sleeping, and oh, she's resting, oh, she's whatever. So the dad had no idea this was going on. He thought it was all legit. One doctor tried to test if she was allergic to sugar before the mom walked in. I bet. If Dee Dee faked Gypsy's age, oh, I missed it. Hold on. I think you were asking something about Rod. So what she ended up doing was she told Rod that she was lying to Gypsy about her age. She told Rod, Gypsy's dad, that Gypsy had the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. So one time on her 18th birthday, Dee Dee actually called Rod and said, don't tell her she's 18. She mentally can't handle that. Like, she thinks she's younger, just play along. And Rod was like, okay. Like, he didn't want to upset Gypsy. So he went along with it. He thought that this is what he needed to do. And, oh, sorry, I moved my poster here. And Gypsy believed this. Like, Gypsy played right along. She wanted to make her mom happy. She'd been manipulated her whole life. It's all she knew. So when her mother said, get in a wheelchair and don't walk, Gypsy got in a wheelchair and didn't walk. Like, she did whatever her mom said, like most kids would, right? Like, this was her life. Is Gypsy out of jail yet? Yes, she was paroled yesterday at 3 a.m., guys. She's home. How does she have a sister? So her dad had another family. So her dad married Christy, and he's had more children. So he has, I believe it's 2 daughters, guys. Is it 2? But I know that her half-sister, Mia, and I thought there was another sister, but now I can't remember. But Mia is her dad, Rod, and her stepmother, Christy's daughter. So it's her half-sister. Is the dad okay? And now where is he? Yes, I'll show you a picture of them, guys. So the dad has been very involved in Gypsy's life. There we are. This is her half-sister Mia's post. They had a welcome home party for Gypsy. So this is them. So this is her stepmom, Christy, and her dad, Rod, and then the 2 sisters in the middle, her half-sister Mia and herself. He's very involved now. He's been sending her like commissary money, visiting at the hospital, at the prison regularly. Gypsy has done in the interview with People Magazine, as you know, she's a Swiftie. And she says that she spent all of the money that her dad gave her on Taylor Swift albums when she was in prison, and that they really helped her. Do you think she should have gone to prison? Personally, I do. I mean, I know that she had a horrible life. Oh, I'm trying to get your comments big, guys, and it keeps pulling the picture. She had a horrible life, but she did plot to murder her mother. And, you know, there are consequences to that. I just don't know how much time would have been appropriate. I don't think anyone could really say for sure. Some people think she shouldn't have had any time. Some people think she should be in there for the rest of her life. I think 10 years and serving almost 8 is adequate. Like, I think she had to get help. She, you know, had to restart her life. She's done a lot of, you know, personal growth and learning in there, and hopefully she's going to be a better person for it. Where's Gypsy now? So that's the big question. We don't know if she is living with her husband, Ryan, which I'm assuming she will be, or if she's staying with her dad. She was going to be staying with her dad, but she got married in 2022. So I'm guessing she's staying with her boyfriend or her husband, Ryan. Do you trust the new stepmom? Karina, I do. She's been very involved in Gypsy's life the last 8 years while she's been in prison as well. So I do. I think she wants the best for Gypsy, and I think she's part of her family. Where was her dad during the abuse? Her dad was always there. He wasn't able to be a proper dad because of Dee Dee. Dee Dee manipulated him and told him that, Gypsy was sick and, he couldn't have, time alone with her really because of her feeding tubes. And so that, he could only see her at certain times. And when he tried to call and talk to her, Dee Dee would say she's resting or she's not feeling well. Like it was a bad situation. What was the Facebook they shared? So the Facebook post, actually, hold on. I think I have a copy of it. Let me see if I can grab the Facebook post. So this is how Gypsy was caught. She posted to Facebook. Is this it? Yeah, this is it, guys. So I'll keep it big so you guys can see it. Oop. So this is it. She posted, it's called Dee, if you want to go read it, this is the Facebook page. It's called Dee Gyp Blanchard. And she posted, "That bitch is dead." She also posted a second one shortly after that was way more detailed. It was nasty, but it's been taken down, I noticed. So this one has not been taken down. I'm not sure why, but the account is still there. But you can literally scroll through and almost see a time frame of how events played out. It starts off with people like, what's going on? What's happening? And then as you keep going, people are like, who can do a check? Who's going there? Has anybody called the police? And then they realize what's happened to Dee Dee, and they're all like praying for Gypsy and wondering where Gypsy is because they think she's kidnapped. Like it plays out. If you want to go to Facebook and check that out, it's quite interesting. It's scary how it played out for her. But this is apparently so what the reason she apparently did this, she tells people with this, I don't know if she'll change her story or not, but she claims that she posted that to Facebook because her mom hadn't been discovered and she didn't want her mom's body laying there like decaying. So she posted this to have her mom rescued. But a lot of people think that she was playing around and just, posting that to, I don't know, not to brag, I guess, but whatever you want to think. But that's what some people say. But what she says is that she wanted her mom's body discovered. She could have just called 911. Yeah, she absolutely could have. I mean, I agree. Yeah. Where's her ex-boyfriend? So her ex-boyfriend is in prison for the rest of his life. He got life in prison without parole. Do we know what the dad thinks about her plots? The dad hasn't commented on what she did, but I'm assuming that he probably thinks the same thing everyone else thinks. Like, Dee Dee was a victim, or sorry, take that back. Gypsy was a victim of Dee Dee this whole time. And I think I don't want to say understanding, but I think everybody kind of realizes why it happened. It's just unfortunate she felt that was the only way out, I guess. Oh, thanks, Sarah. There's the Facebook page if anybody wants to go check it out. Do you trust the sister? I do. I think that Mia loves Gypsy. I think she's been involved in her life. It's not a new thing to her. She knew Gypsy and had spent time with Gypsy, and they were very close the whole time during prison. So, I mean, they're family, right? I feel like Gypsy is like her mom. How so? A lot of people failed her. I agree, 100%. Is the dog still alive? I don't know. How did she meet her husband? So I actually just did a post about that today if you wanted to go check it out. If you have not caught up on this and you want a recap of things, guys, I've done a ton of posts in the last few days. You can see all of the videos and pictures of her release. But basically, we now know how she and Ryan met because it was always kind of just rumored before. But basically what Ryan said, it's kind of an odd story, but Ryan said that it was the height of COVID. It was 2020 when, if you remember I keep saying the Lion King. It was not the Lion King. What was his name? Oh, guys, what is his name? Oh my God, I'm blanking. Tiger King, thank you. Lion King was in my head. Thank you, the Tiger King. There we go. So his friend Joe Exotic was like huge around then. So his friend wanted to write Joe Exotic in jail. And apparently Ryan said, if you write Joe Exotic, I'll write Gypsy Rose. And that's what they did. Like they dared each other. So apparently Ryan wrote this great big letter telling how Gypsy Rose's story affected his life. And then basically told her all about himself, not expecting a reply. And she replied. And I guess they quickly bonded. And she says that Ryan was basically her emotional backbone, is how she referred to it, for the next 3 years, that they wrote each other and, conversed constantly. And Ryan said he got butterflies every time he would get an email from Gypsy. In 2022, last year in July, they ended up getting married, and they just had a small prison ceremony at the prison. Her family did not want her to get married. They wanted her to wait, but of course she didn't want to, so they supported her. Josie, thank you so much for your first gift. Thank you, babe. And thank you to everybody who's been tapping the screen. If you can keep tapping, that would be great. But yeah, so they got married, and they were not allowed conjugal visits, apparently. So he actually said in the interview that they had to find like a different way to be like intimate with each other and bond, because they couldn't even hug or anything. So he said one of the things, and it's kind of cringe, but anyway, he said that one of the things they would do is, Jules, is they would make noises, which signified hugging when they were talking on the phone. So I don't know what the noises were, but they would make a noise when they wanted to pretend they were hugging each other or think like they were hugging each other. But they did not have any physical contact until she was released. So he was looking forward to having their first date night. He said that he had it all planned. And basically she was going to have Christmas when she got out. He had bought her a bunch of gifts. Her family had bought her a bunch of gifts. And then today that she was supposed to be going on a spa day to get her nails and everything done, her hair, etc. And thanks, Lisa. I didn't even notice. And then apparently they were going to have a special date night, and I think it's tonight. Let me just see. Confirm. There we go. I didn't have a goal set for my gifts. Lisa just mentioned it. Thanks, Lisa. There we go. Gingerbreads, guys, is the goal tonight. We'll do gingerbreads for Christmas. How can you show the picture where she got caught about the murder? Can you show the pictures? Do you mean her mugshots? What did the mom's illness do? So the mom had Guys, thank you so much for all the gifts. Thank you. Her mom had Munchausen by proxy, which is when you fake or cause an illness in someone you're taking care of for reasons to benefit yourself, like for emotional support or for attention or sympathy or money or something like that. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for all the gingerbreads. Thank you. I will show you their mugshot. Let me just find it here. Oh, here we go. I'm getting all the weird filters again. Just a sec, let me find it. It's going to go behind my head, but that's fine. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find their mugshots here. I have so many pictures over the last few days. So here is Ryan, first of all. You guys took out my goal already. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. So this is Ryan, guys. This is her new husband. And let me find the mugshots. I got to switch this because that background line drives me nuts. So this is Nicholas Godejohn. So this is her ex-boyfriend. Ryan, her new husband, is not the person that helped kill her mother. So this is their mugshots. So of course, Gypsy has pretty much a shaved head in this because her mom, of course, pretended she had leukemia, so would shave her head constantly. And Nicholas Godejohn, of course, just had short hair. But this is what she looked like when she was first arrested. So it's a huge difference from the Gypsy Rose that everyone else knew with, the big glasses and the shaved head and the little costumes for looking like Cinderella and Disney princesses. And she dressed up all the time. And yes, they look like twins in this, but of course, they're not dressing the same. This is prison garb, of course. Thank you so much for your first gift. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for all the gifts and tapping. I see you guys. Thank you. Okay, let me put that picture back up. I'll show you some of the pictures from today, guys. So this is from yesterday morning, excuse me. This was Ryan and her leaving the hotel. You can see the news crew from behind her. Maddie, thank you. And Alice, thank you for the gingerbread. So this is Lovely Smith. Her coming out. So she's got 2 plastic bags, as you can see, guys. And when you zoom in, you can see that they're filled with like treats, like candy and chocolate bars and like probably all her favorite things that she wanted. I think that's so great. But that's all in the bag. As well as you can see, he's got the, what is that? Dr. Pepper case there. Okay, guys, I switched it. My goal to a money gun. Yeah, we'll see how that does. Now you guys won't be able to take my goal out. let me just put my poster back up here. Let's see. The pictures aren't working great tonight. So this is her family. I'm going to leave this big for a sec so you guys can see it. So this is her sister, Mia. Mia and her dad. And, Juliana, thank you, babes. Thank you. Amber, guys, you were the best. So this is her dad, her stepmom, her sister Mia, and her at the party that they had. And she also got this picture with some of her friends at the same party. I don't know if these are people she was pen pals with in prison, or, you know, these are friends that she's had her whole life. I'm not really sure. But the other thing was this. So I'm going to shrink this so you can see it a little bit better here. So Dom, thank you, babes. Thanks, Donna. You guys are the best. Thank you. So Gypsy ended up coming out of the hotel in her sock feet, if you guys picked up on that. And I was like, oh, she wants to be comfortable for a drive somewhere. No, it's because she ended up getting out of the car at this shoe store with these like knee-high boots on, and she couldn't even zip them up. Like the zippers were undone. They were flapping. They were way too small for her. And somebody on my post was pointing out, it's probably the boots she was like arrested in, like that she went to prison in. Cause you know, whatever you go in with, you come out with. So she probably had no shoes. So she ended up buying a pair of Skechers sneakers at this shoe store after. So let me get the other pictures here. And then she ended up, this is at the party as well. So there's Ryan. He was there, of course, as well. They were having those confetti guns. That's what I should have done as a goal. Confetti tonight. I'll put that next if we get the money gun ones. They had this party for her as a welcome home. So that was kind of nice. I mean, just to celebrate, you know, her arrival. Here she is in her sock feet. I guess you can't see them as good in that picture, can you? Let me grab the one. Oh, well, I guess you can kind of see the bottoms of them. There we go. Danny, thank you for your first gift. Dawn, thank you. Oh, it was Donnie. Thank you. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. Okay, we need a couple more money guns and then we'll switch it to confetti, guys. Can you show the pictures? Oh, I just missed it. Where she got caught about the murderer. I don't know what pictures you mean. Like, I don't think I have pictures of her from the murder scene, if that's what you mean. There's pictures of her in the police station and stuff. Lisa, thank you for the money gun, honey. Thank you. Hi, and the title gifter. I think the ones in court. Oh, yeah, I don't have them saved on my phone, the ones in court. Ciao! Thank you. Guys, you're going for that goal. What is the movie called? So, guys, she's got a few movies out. So she's got, on Netflix, she's got The Act. On I think it's Amazon Prime and maybe Hulu is Mommy Dead and Dearest. They're both documentaries. They're both quite good. But the one that I'm looking forward to and waiting for is coming out. Tony, thank you. The one that I'm looking forward to and is coming out. Dawn, you just took out my goal. Thank you, sweetheart. Guys, I'm going to put confetti up. That is like the most appropriate. We definitely need confetti. Yeah, so the one that I'm looking forward to the most is the one that she is taping right now. So there currently is like a, what do you call it? Like a movie crew, filming crew following her around right now. She is doing a docu-series, and I think I've talked about this a few times, but she's doing a docu-series right now. Hold on, I'm just trying to change the goal here to confetti. Thank you so much, guys, for all those gifts and tapping the screen. Thank you. Okay, we got confetti up. So she's doing a docu-series right now. And basically, they've been recording her in prison. She's going to tell her whole life story. Jordan! Her whole life story. She's Linda, thank you. You guys. And she's going to tell about her early childhood. Debbie! Debbie, thank you. Her early childhood. She may even be talking about the murders. Debbie, thank you. But the big question with this, Deb! Hitting that goal hard. Thank you, Debbie. Sorry, guys. I'm squirreling with the confetti. Thank you. I don't know if you can make money off of a crime like that. Allie, Lexi, thank you so much. But if you can't, then I don't think she's going to be talking about the murders a lot. But if you can, then I do feel like they're going to be in the docuseries. But they're still taping her. They're following her around. They're basically going to be recording her apparently for the next little while she acclimates to the real world. And that's why we're seeing them following her. So she's definitely got a news crew around her. Some people are writing things like, leave her alone, let her live her life. That's not what she's asking for. She has said numerous times that she is going to be extremely vocal when she comes out on social media and things like that. She wants her story out there. She wants to help other people. She wants people that are in abusive situations to kind of know that she's there for them, that it's not the answer that you need to do that. And she wants to help people. So that's kind of what's been going on. The Act is on Hulu. I think it's on Netflix as well, isn't it, guys? Somebody just said, stop screaming. They've obviously never been in my live before. I'm not screaming. It's literally my voice. I have no indoor voice. Thank you for the gifts, you guys. Just on Hulu, guys? Okay. She got arrested down the street from me. It's a Hulu original. Okay. Thanks, guys. Has she made social media? Yes. So her half-sister set up her accounts for her last year. Celine, thank you so much for the confetti. Set up her Instagram, her TikTok, etc. And announced that she was doing that. So they are legit. And Gypsy Rose posted today for the first time. So she posted a selfie and she wrote, here, I'll show it to you. She wrote, first selfie. What did she say? First selfie of freedom, I think she wrote. Just let me find it here and I'll show you guys. Thank you, Alice. Let's see. It is this one. So here she is. So what is it that she wrote? She wrote first selfie of freedom. Yes. So this is her legit Instagram. So if you want to follow an Instagram account, this is it. Gypsy Rose _A _Blanchard. And I'm assuming A is for Anderson, right? So this is her Instagram. She is still using Blanchard, probably because that's what she's known for, or known as, I guess. But yeah, so she posted this today. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more posts once she gets kind of settled. But everything's got to be so crazy right now with just getting home. And she's probably exhausted getting released from prison at 3 a.m. I mean, it's crazy. And yeah, she says she's in good health. She says she has no kind of long-term illnesses from what kind of went on and things. So, oh, hold on. Oh, I do that all the time. I'm trying to make my comments big so I can see you guys here. There we go. What are your opinions on Nick? I think the whole situation is sad. I think they were in an extremely unhealthy relationship. I think they manipulated each other. I just think the whole thing was unfortunate, but I mean, what he did to Dee Dee's mother is awful. What they both did. She served her time, but he actually did the deed. And I think it's justified what both of them got. Can you show her TikTok? I don't think I have her TikTok address saved in a picture, but if you go to my page, I have all my posts that I've done with her. I have tagged her in the captions so you can find it. I think it's Gypsy R. Blanchard, I think it's Gypsy R. Blanchard 727 or something like that. But it's on my page, guys. Make sure you have follow. I will definitely be updating. Is anyone else worried she will be re-victimized? I think that's going to be our biggest fear, Tiana. I think everybody's got that fear. Yeah. I just hope Ryan is a nice guy. I hope she has found someone, trusting and healthy, a healthy relationship. Her husband bought them Chief tickets yes. Yeah, they're going to the Chiefs game. Is it tomorrow night, the 30th? I thought it was the 31st. I can't remember. But she's hoping to meet Taylor Swift. That's why she's going, apparently. Oh, there we got her. Oh, let me pin this comment here. Pin. There is her her TikTok account, guys. Oh, there's Kaylee. Leave that girl alone. That's not what Gypsy wants. Gypsy is the first one to say that she wants people to know her story. She wants to be out here on social media. She's got a book coming out. She's got a docuseries coming out on the Lifetime channel. Yes, Lifetime channel. And she has made all new social accounts and she posted for the first time already today. She does not want to be left alone. That's not what she's looking for. I love that people are trying to protect her, but she's not getting hate and it's not what she's looking for. Do you think she should have gone to jail or should she have gone to like a mental health center. Chloe, I think unfortunately we don't have enough mental health centers, and nor are they adequate enough for the situations that we deal with. So I think prison was kind of the only option, unfortunately. Thanks for putting the TikTok on a pin. Been looking for it for hours. Oh, no problem, Loyalty. Thank you for the confetti. Hi. Do you have any photos of Nick now? Oh, I just deleted it. Yes, I did. It was a more recent one, but I deleted it. Are they still in Missouri? No, they are not. They are in Louisiana, is it, guys? I think it's Louisiana that they're in right now. What's the Facebook, please? Oh, her Facebook is D, like D-E-E, Gyps, G-Y-P-S, Blanchard with an E on the end is the Facebook account. Oh, thanks, Anna. Oh, wait, GypsyBlanchard.official. What is that one? No, I don't know what GypsyBlanchard.official is, so I'm going to unpin that, Anna. Sorry, I don't know what that account is. I don't think she only has the one on TikTok that I know of. Where are the documentaries that are already out? So one is on Hulu called The Act, and the other is called Mummy, Dead, and Dearest, and it's on, I think, Amazon Prime. What part of Missouri were they in? I'm not sure. Can we do some battles? Who is that? Thanks, babe. Yes, I will do some battles, guys. Ash, hi, darling. I don't necessarily think that Nick should be freed because what he did was still a crime. Yeah, what they both did was a crime. She served her time and he's now serving his. Yeah. Why did she get released early? Most people in the States do after serving 80% or more of your time. You usually do get early parole. She had good behavior, no issues and stuff. So they paroled her early. Did you see the celebration video? Yes, I did. Yeah. There's 2 accounts on TikTok. Only one is hers, guys. Go to my posts. My last few posts that I made about Gypsy Rose, I have her TikTok account, her real one, tagged in my post, and you can just click it and go to it. It's something like Gypsy R Blanchard 727. Hi, thank you for the confetti. Can you tell me her TikTok? There it is there, guys. Abby's got it. Gypsy Rose Blanchard 72. Is that what it is, Abby? Is it or Gypsy R Blanchard? Go check it, Abs. Thank you for the confetti. 50% for nonviolent. Oh, is it? Okay, Nay just put 50% of time for nonviolent crimes and 85% for violent crimes is the earliest release dates. That sounds about right. The dot official is her TikTok. Or her Instagram. Thanks, Rudolph. Does Gypsy want to meet Taylor Swift? Yes, she does. She's a huge Swiftie. Does she have to check in with the parole officer? Yes. Yeah, I saw. Oh, see, now V's got a different one. Gypsy_R_Blanchard 727. I think that's the right one, guys. Just go to my page, though. I have the right one. The correct one is in my posts. Just check it on there. Gypsy's husband looks like her mother. I've heard a bunch of people say that. I don't see it. That's the correct one. Okay. Yes. You Matter just said there's a whole bunch of fake accounts. There's a ton. I even had somebody posting as if they were Gypsy Rose today on my posts. I was like, block. That's her only account is the one that I've got tagged in my post, guys. Does she have TikTok? She does. Yeah, her half-sister made the accounts for her. How long does she have to check in with a parole officer for? I'm not too sure. Do you think Ryan will continue to teach? I think so. Yeah, I would assume, but talk about the dad and the mother and not being able to see or talk to her. I wonder what she thinks of everyone's posts about her. I'm assuming she appreciates them. Everything I've seen so far, guys, is actually quite positive. Everyone is so supportive of her. I don't see many negative things. I mean, I see people saying that she should still be in jail or something like that, but most people support her. They know what she went through. I have seen people say things like, why do you glorify a murderer? That's not what's happening. People can relate to what she went through because a lot of people, unfortunately, had an upbringing of similar things. Maybe not Munchausen by proxy, but parents who were abusive and things like that. So people, or had a spouse that was abusive. So people just kind of understand more. Philip, thank you for the beaver. How old is Gypsy? She's 32 years old now. Didn't she say she hated the Act movie? Michelle, I don't know if she did or not. Would you want to meet Gypsy? I would. I would love to do an interview with her. I've actually messaged her on her accounts and asked her if she'd come on and say hi to us sometime. Whether or not she replies, I don't know. But yeah, I would love to interview her or just have her on to see how she's making out. Hi, Kathy. That's weird. I'm putting it in and it says no results found. Tammy, you might be in your messages. You have to go to the search where all the videos are playing. You can't search in your messages. I'm only saying that because I do it sometimes. Will Taylor meet her? I doubt it. I mean, we don't know though, but I doubt it.